Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Titans Season 4, and this is going to be my review for Episode 9 for this season, otherwise entitled, Dude, Where Is My Go? But yeah, spoiler, because there's a lot to talk about from this episode, and this was a very highly anticipated episode, so yeah, people sort of wanted to stay away from potential spoilers that were there. But of course, if you have watched the episode, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts on this episode and everything that it contained. Always curious to read what you guys are thinking, and of course, you're going to enjoy the video, enjoyed the episode, everything like that. Drop a like on the video to show support. So, elephant in the room with this, I didn't talk about episode 7 or 8 for this season so far. That's mainly because, expose myself, I haven't watched them yet, but this episode was well put out there that it was very standalone. You could pretty much watch it on its own and not watched any of this season, and it could have worked, and it would work, and it did work. It was its own thing. But the last thing leading into this is the mid-season finale, where all the Titans were sent elsewhere. And that's where what happens with Gar, and that's where we pick up with him in this episode. But they're all sent elsewhere, and Gar, or Beast Boy's in his own little area, if you want to put it. And overall, this episode it fits in with the thing that Titans does so crazily well. You know, I've had my issues with Titans, mainly because I don't think it has enough time a lot of the time to handle its characters very well. But it does so well with episodes and characters when they are just one character focused episodes. Like a lot of people's favorite episode of Titans ever is a Superboy episode back from season 2 and some other singular focused one character episodes. And this carries that trend with Titans. It's sort of crazy how that just is always pretty damn consistent. And with this Garfield or Beast Boy episode, it continues that so well. Now, this episode, the teleplay, I think, was written by Geoff Johns, but the actual story from the episode was also written by Geoff Johns, but also Ryan Potter, who plays Beast Boy. So he's been on this journey with the character for years now, has a good understanding of the character. So I do like that there was that collaboration there. And this episode, it has so much lore to it from the DC Comics, not in regards to just Beast Boy, but also the Red in general and just the multiverse as a whole and what it's trying to tap into. It's such a well-written episode and well done that it doesn't necessarily change the landscape of Titans as a show and push so much story forward with the show as a whole. But with Beast Boy and Garfield Logan as a character and just the Red and the better understanding of it, it does it all so well within one episode. It's actually pretty crazy. And also there was one cameo. We knew going into this episode there was going to be cameos. We weren't just sure it was going to be as many as there were in this episode. It was very Crisis on Infinite Earths on the CW-esque in regards to how they did it. But there was one cameo in this episode which I loved, and just a nod to someone who I didn't even think was going to be in this episode or even be acknowledged too much in the episode. And I don't know, I'm assuming this was on Geoff Johns' side, but it might have also been on Ryan Potter's side. But the dedication to this person who isn't dead, they're alive, but they sometimes don't get the recognition that they deserve. In the past, funnily enough, they are starting to get it now with James Gunn coming in, which might give away who it is if you haven't seen the episode. But yeah, it was sort of nice to see this person get recognition, because I feel sometimes no one really talks about their stories and stuff like that, at least in regards to the actual person. But yeah, let's just get into the actual discussion this episode. So we open with young Garfield Logan at the zoo. Now, it's not just any zoo, it's Central City Zoo. You might not have noticed that, but on the little emblem that the zookeeper was wearing, it said Central City Zoo. I don't know if it said it anywhere else, because I don't think it said Central City this year. But yeah, it said Central City Zoo there. No flash cakes or anything like that. We have young Garfield scared and sort of seeing these gnarly visions of of an ape being worked on, brain exposed, everything like that. It was pretty gross. With us cutting to present day Garfield, aka Beast Boy, where he is scared by this lion bat hybrid, which actually looked pretty good. But he's joined by Dominic Mindawe, I think that's how you pronounce it, who is otherwise known as Freedom Beast from the comics, and he is another person that's connected to the Red, which is, as I said before, a major focus of the episode. Now, the two not only have a connection to the Red, but they have a connection to the disease that also killed family members of both of them. I think for Dominic, it was his sister and her kids, I think, and obviously for Garfield, it was his two parents. That's been known for a while, which stems from a lab using captive apes, which obviously was what Garfield was seeing in those visions just before this. Now, we did have Dominic explain the Red to Beast Boy and just sort of explain that it is this force which connects and pervades all animal life and organisms within the universe. And he's also name dropping other characters connected to the Red, like Mike Maxwell, aka Bwana Beast, who gave him his helmet, that like Magneto-looking helmet sort of thing, as well as Animal Man, Vixen. I think those were the other two that he mentioned. So yeah, we didn't get to see those characters, but they're mentioned, so they're acknowledged. And I think actually early in the season they might have mentioned Animal Man. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly, but I think they might have, but that might be wrong at the same time. Now, Dominic does give Beast Boy this like solution to drink in order for him to access and travel through the red again, and also experience some other things, which does work with alongside some other stuff where we are seeing like past and alternate versions of Beast Boy, along with like the pain and grief associated with all of that. And we actually do get to see Freedom Beast and Beast Boy take on the Scientist with what I'm pretty sure was like a one-shot hallway scene, which was pretty well done. I did enjoy it, with also Beast Boy turning into a gorilla at the same time. With us learning that this singular ape that we'd seen in the visions before with like the brain being exposed that is being worked on has to die for the disease, or to like dispose of the deadly disease in question that sort of affected, family members from Freedom Beast and Beast Boy. But we also had that merging thing where he merged the Scientist with the ape by Dominic. That was insane. It was pretty gnarly, but it was like, looked like something from Planet of the Apes, but I thought like the VFX looked pretty good and like the makeup and stuff. But yeah, that was pretty insane. Now, I thought this was all just happening at the moment, happening at the time, everything like that. I didn't think we were stuck in some weird thing, if you want to put it. But we do learn that Dr. Niles Calder, the head of the Doom Patrol, was behind the lab doing this research and experiments and containment. And then Dr. Calder purposely played a part in Garfield's, his parents' deaths, so that one would live to be another part of his Doom Patrol, that of course being Garfield. Now, of course, this goes on to be Beast Boy. Now, with everything we've seen, as I said before, I was like, okay, this is just happening at the time. This is just, Dominic couldn't do this by himself and stuff like that. But we're actually experiencing an echo of the past, I think Dominic says, or like a memory of Dominic's, who had taken down this lab years ago. So this lab's already been taken down years ago, and they've just been going through this memory thing, but they're in the same location, which I was like, oh, so all this has just been a dream of sorts, which I thought was pretty crazy. But Freedom Beast needs Guy to take up his spot, or take up the spot as the protector of the red, in turn sort of relieving Freedom Beast of his duty. But this means leaving his connections behind, which of course includes the team, the Titans, which he sees as his family, which Gar obviously doesn't want to agree to, but he also wants to protect the red as well. With him noting that he is connected to every living being in the universe, so stepping back from, I guess, already made connections doesn't really make too much sense. But it's not just this universe as it's pushed by Dominic, but the multiverse. And this is where we see multiple cameos, which include The Flash, which I wasn't expecting. Now, it's not Grant Gustin showing in, but it is Grant Gustin's version. And it's through stock footage. I think it was Armageddon. Oh, it's him with the gold boots, I'm pretty sure. So at least it's from, I think it was from season 8. I'm pretty sure it was the Armageddon when he first gets the gold boots and he's running through the city. But yeah, we get to see that. I think in a perfect world, they would have maybe tried to get Grant. But at the same time, I think the stock footage worked well enough. But a zap of the Flash's lightning sends Beast Boy to the Earth of Stargirl, where we get to see Courtney, aka Stargirl again. She meets Garfield just outside Blue Valley High. That was a brief scene, but it was cool to see Courtney again. And she doesn't like this was not done. I think this was done while Stargirl was still airing when they filmed this, but they'd finished filming Stargirl like half a year before. So it was cool to see Brett Basson just step back into the suit of Courtney and into the suit of Stargirl, might I say, but back as Courtney. It made me miss Stargirl. It made me miss Star. I was like, oh god, I can't believe that show's not on anymore. But I thought the interactions between Gar and Courtney were pretty good as well. And I liked the fact that I think Gar was sort of like talking to Cosmo, like he could understand what Cosmo was saying, the cosmic stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was very brief. In a perfect world, you get an entire episode like that, but we knew it was going to be brief. We knew that Brett Basson only filmed for like one night or something like that, so it's not too surprising it was brief. But it was like, in a perfect world, you get more of it. You know what I mean? But we then do get to see Beast Boy or Garfield in the center of the multiverse. We see all the different Earths around him and everything like that. And we see various characters from other Earths showing up and having cameos, including Swamp Thing from the TV show, Shazam, like Zachary Levi Shazam showing up. But this is the bit I was talking about before. We get a cameo of Grant Morrison, which was super unexpected because he was facing away and I thought, is this Lex Luthor? And then he turned around and I was like, oh, it's goddamn Grant Morrison. And he looked to be sketching the multiverse. Now, I don't know if it looked like the multiverse. But I was wondering, is that meant to be? Was that like a copy of his original sketch of what it was meant to be? But yeah, that was really really cool. And the end of the episode, like right after the end credits, I think it was, says like. It credits him as like it's like special thanks to Grant Morrison, and it said like the true master of the multiverse, I think it said. And that was a great dedication to him. I thought that was really, really cool. The fact that they had him in there was just insane. I wasn't expecting that. But we do also get to see the Teen Titans Go version of Beast Boy. I think we hear Harley Quinn's voice and one of the Joker's voices, with Beast Boy exiting and landing in the Doom Patrol mansion. And he's found by Cyborg from the actual Doom Patrol show, with Cyborg calling out to Robot Man, I think it was, for help. He might have said Negative Man as well. Not too sure, but that's where it cuts off. There's also a thing at the end where like Cyborg's eating waffles. It was random, but I was like, okay, that's a random thing. Like it's like after the credits, like it's almost like an end credit thing, where he's eating waffles, which I thought was really random. So I don't know necessarily if that means the next episode after this, we have like the episode open up with like whenever we meet Beast Boy again, he's with Cyborg and maybe Robot Man or Negative Man at the Doom Patrol mansion, and maybe he tries to learn more about Niles Caulder or some stuff there. I'm not too sure, because I don't know if this is meant to be on the same Earth that Titans is on, or he's somewhere else in the multiverse, like on that Doom Patrol Earth, because we've been told that they're on different Earths, but I don't know if they're just going to like merge them together and just say, like, retcon that or whatever it is. I'm not too sure. But overall, as I said before, Titans has this crazy trend of just doing really, really well done episodes when it focuses on a singular character. And they've done it again with this Beast Boy episode. I think it was really well done. I think Ryan Potter did a really, really good job, because it's pretty much just him and the actor who played Dominic or Freedom Beast, and just them two together. The back and forth was really good as well. And yeah, I've seen people criticize like, oh, why did it take 4 years to do this with Beast Boy? And I can sort of understand that. But at the same time, I don't think it works that well if we didn't have those 4 years or 3 years leading into this fourth season. I don't know if it works that well. You could argue that like in some of the seasons, they maybe didn't develop Beast Boy as good as they could have, which I'm not going to sit here and argue against that. But I think this episode works so well because of that history, or because of that lead up and that journey. I think that's why it works so well. But yeah, I'm happy with the episode we got. As I said, you know, if you want to nitpick, I wish we got more of Stargirl. I wish we got actually Grant Gustin showing up. Actually, I know, Zach Levi showing up as Shazam, whatever it might be. But I think with what the purpose of the episode was, I think it did a really good job. And you just got to be happy with that one, don't you? But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and it shows support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on this. Did you like the episode? Did you like the cameos? Would you have wanted more? Let me know. I don't know. You might have been like, hey, I'm greedy. I need more. Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. And goodbye.